This is the story of the Three Musketeers. Once upon a time in France, there was a poor but noble young woman named D'Artagnan. She leaves her home to make her fortune in Paris by somehow eventually opening up a non-profit feminist bookstore. She brings with her a letter of introduction to her mother's friend, Madame de Treville, captain of the Queen's Musketeers, a group of mostly women who rid the world of the evils of misogyny. But then she gets beaten up by a group of female Meninists. Yes, Meninists, the worst type of people. They get everything she has, including her letter of introduction. So, while she was meeting in Paris with Madame de Treville to get a new letter, she looked out the window, and who did she see? But the same group of Meninists who robbed her the day before! So D'Artagnan rushes out to catch them. But on her way, she bumps into the Three Musketeers. She first collides with Aretha, the quiet, mysterious one. She then collides with Paula, the man-eater. And finally, she runs into Randy, the fedora-clad neckbeard, who falls into a group of older women out for tea. Thoroughly peeved, the Musketeers challenged D'Artagnan to a duel. The duel, however, was quickly shut down by the Cardinal's guard, who believed women far too dainty to duel. But D'Artagnan joins the Musketeers, and together they fight off the sexists. But then, D'Artagnan receives bad news from her landlord. Apparently, her young husband has been kidnapped. Wait, since when does she have a husband? And why is her landlord telling her? Her husband, Connor, was a page for the Queen. D'Artagnan feared that the reason for his kidnapping was to exploit the Queen's secrets from Connor. When her landlord described the kidnappers, D'Artagnan recognized them to be the very Meninists that I talked about a minute ago. Remember? "I must find these kidnappers!" she exclaimed. It really wasn't that hard. All they had to do was make a fake account on 4chan, and they figured out everything by just straight up asking. They aren't too smart, those Meninists. It turned out they were holed up in the basement of a well-known male-oriented tavern. So it was up to Randy to disguise himself as a French courtesan to infiltrate. But when he walked in, all of the music stopped and everybody stopped talking and looked at him, just like in the movies. A drop of sweat ran through his neckbeard, threatening to wash off his makeup and reveal his true nature. But all was fine. The tavern returned to its normal, rowdy, male-centric activities. Like, I don't know, comparing dicks, seeing who can pee the farthest. Is that what guys do? Anyway, he makes his way to the basement, and he sees Connor all tied up. Randy walked to the window to let the other Musketeers in, but just then, the Lady Meninists came down the stairs, chatting about how they wish they had penises. "You are a disgrace to your gender! On guard!" exclaimed D'Artagnan. Then, all of the Musketeers took out their weapons, ready to fight. "All for one, and one for all!" And all the other Musketeers were like, "What? Did you just come up with that right now?" And D'Artagnan was like, "I mean, it just came to me. Did you like it?" And the other girls were like, "Yes, OMG, it's perfect. Like, we thought you wrote that ahead of time." And then Randy got stabbed while they were all complimenting D'Artagnan. It was an epic battle, one for the books. They really kicked the shit out of those dummies and released Connor. They all high-fived each other, except Randy, who was dying. But they kind of ignored him because they never really liked him anyway. He was kind of creepy, and they always thought he had ulterior motives for fighting their fight. Come back next time, and you'll hear the land before time as told by fundamentalist Christians, which is basically just like an empty void the whole time. They just made a fake account on 4chan and found out everything by straight up asking. I don't know why that's hard. Straight up asking.